Hey, what's going on, family? We got a great guest today. It's Andre C Hatchett, repeat guest. Before we get into that, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this on podcast, make sure you leave us a 5-star review or just an honest review. Really appreciate that. Also, of course, just getting a little bit of the admin stuff out of the way. We do have the Facebook group and the Military Cashflow Facebook group with about, I think we just hit over 2K not too long ago. 2,000 service members. So that's awesome. So make sure to join that group. If you haven't joined that group already, there's a lot of value add on the group. And yeah, man, Mike, what's going on with you, man?
Not much, man. Just staying busy. 2021 came around and I think all of us were ready for 2020 to be done, but I'm excited, got new focus, new vision. A lot of things are going on. The team's doing well and just ready to move on, man. And I think today's guest highlighted some more opportunities, because my thing with all of these podcasts is the creative juices get to flowing. And then I'm like, I might need to try some, you know what I mean? It's like, I might need to try this too. So I got to kind of pump my brakes. But, today's podcast got me thinking pretty deeply about how can we vertically integrate a lot of our real estate transactions and things like that to create more income. So yeah, man, things are going good. How's things on your end?
Same thing, man. I mean, you talk about trying to refocus and everything like that. Yeah. I've been on leave for a while, hence the little mustache. You know what I mean? I've been really doing a lot of self-reflecting, trying to figure out what the heck, my trajectory in life and stuff. So every year we pretty much, my wife and I sit down and we make our new goals list and we try to figure out, hey, what's the best move for us and things. So that keeps us together as a couple, keeps us together focused as a couple. And some of the things I've realized that I just gotta, just like you said, your juice is starting to flow and you start to take on so much stuff. Starting to realize, hey, man, I'm starting to take on a little bit too much. So I'm trying to dial back a little bit and figure out what, basically refocus. So yeah, man. So 2021, looking to just refocus and go hard on the things that are important to me. So yeah, man, it's good stuff. But we got Andre C Hatchett on again. And he's going to be talking about the mobile notary, right? The mobile notary of public, right? And what that is, that side hustle, and how you can make anywhere between 2 and 12K. His students on average are making anywhere between on the low end, they're making between 2K a month, and then on the high end, they're making 12K a month, depending on their value, what their goals are, and what they want to put into the business. But I just think it's an excellent side hustle for anyone out there that is looking to supplement income, right? And then eventually probably parlay that into real estate or any other passive income. So
yeah, when we look at side hustles, guys, we're always talking about military cash flow, right? A side hustle, ideal side hustle, is going to be something that you can do in your free time. It's pretty flexible, right? That pays well, but most importantly, there's always a demand for it. So it's not something that you do once a week, but nobody buys it, but once a year. It's something that you do once a week and everybody needs it every single day. And something like a mobile notary is just that. It combines that notary service that everybody needs. It then adds on that convenience factor that everybody wants, and you get to charge a nice little premium. So I'm really excited to get started with today's episode. There's so many nuggets. So without further ado, let's get to it.
What's going on, Military Cashflow? This is Dan Wynn.
And Mike Glaspie.
And today we have a great guest. We have a repeat guest, Mr. Andre C Hatchett, the man. He's out there just doing great things. Hey, thank you so much for coming on the show again, Andre. Really, really appreciate it. Love everything you're doing. Would you please reintroduce yourself? Allow me to reintroduce myself. So, could you please reintroduce yourself? Let the audience know a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from, and we'll go from there.
Okay, will do, man. Honored to be back. Thank you guys for having me again. 38 years old, long-time entrepreneur. Been was selling lemonade as a kid, candy at school, shoveling snow. 9, 10, 11 years old, that whole gamut route. Probably most known for my mobile Notary Public business and my action-based work in the Black community per se through economics. Since Since 2015, I've taught probably 15,000 people how to start a business as a mobile notary public, invested in real estate since I was 22, 23 years old, and part of an investment group where we have like 10 houses in Detroit, 7 or 8 houses in Detroit now, and a vending machine route in California. So that's something new as well. And I'm happy to be here, hardcore entrepreneur, and I'm ready to cook, ready to teach and learn.
I love it, man. That's a lot we've covered. I mean, just right there in that intro, you've done a little bit of everything.
I've been around.
I love it. And I think that that mentality of, being creative and being resourceful and all that good stuff, it seems like that's been in your blood. That was ingrained in you. And you've done it several times now and been successful several times. And just before we dig into the main topic, just talk about that a little bit. What about your background has really influenced that creative mindset that you have?
Man, I just didn't like limitations, man. Mike, I just didn't like them. So even as a kid, if I was limited to what I can buy, I was like, well, why? I just questioned things like why? Even in school, so I wasn't very successful at the formal education route because I have so many damn limits. They limit everything. Everything is limited. You can't even sell candy in school as a kid. They limit that. They limit when you go to the bathroom, you have to ask. So I just, even though I had jobs as a kid, I'm Jamaican background, so I was a typical hard-working Jamaican guy. And I had 3 jobs at one time in high school while going to high school. But for me, entrepreneurship just gave an answer to, well, you can make more money. It's there. You might have to just dig up. You have to dig it up. But that's just what I went to because I didn't want to be told no. Or went to use the bathroom.
I love it.
Or went to eat. So that's me.
That's like they saying that we can't cheat in school. And it's like, it's not cheating. It's called teamwork. We do this
Teamwork.
in real life.
Every other aspect of life is fine except school. It's a weird place. It's a weird place, man.
Love it.
That's interesting. That's an interesting take, man. So serial entrepreneur, and you didn't even talk about like you got multiple books out and things like that. So it's a very, very successful individual. You've done a lot in your short lifetime so far, and love how you're impacting the community. Really, really do appreciate that as well. So where did we know you got some did some real estate, the vending machine route, that's new, that's pretty cool. So the reason why we really wanted to bring you back on, right, is because the show is Military Cashflow. We're always talking about cash flow, how to build cash flow, right? And part of that, a lot of that side hustle mentality and that building cash flow, passive streams, other passive streams of income, they help complement each other into not just real estate, but again, other passive streams. So it's all collective, right? And we like to try to share with the community as many different ways to build cash flow, because real estate might not be for you, so but there's other streams that can help you along your journey to financial freedom, right? So let's talk about the mobile notary business, where that came about, what that's about, what's the deal with this?
All right. So I was 23. I was working with special needs children as a teacher's aide, an assistant, and a youth basketball coach. Very fulfilling work, but it's still a job, still limitations, still, There's also happy I could be there. Personal statement, not forcing my views on anybody else. So I had a friend of a friend called Ricky, named Ricky Simon. Ricky, here's what my friends told me. They said, "Yo, Dre," because everyone knows that I'm entrepreneurial, because that's all I talk about, is entrepreneurship and real estate and helping our people. So, they said that he shows up somewhere, he makes like $35, $50, $100, $200. He's there for like 15, 20 minutes. I knew what a Notary Public was, but I didn't connect to it. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like he shows up at places and he gets paid on the spot, or he gets a check later. I was like, okay, I need to see what this is, because I was making $100 a day at the job. $100 whole day, 8 till 2:30, 8 till 3. So I was like, okay, this is up my alley. And it seems simple enough. I've gotten good at maximizing simplicity. I don't even do difficult stuff because it just hurts my head. I maximize simple stuff. So I hooked up with Ricky. I shadowed him for a day. I saw what he did. And I was just enamored, like, oh shoot, I could do this. So I took the test. I failed the first time, passed the second time. And the day I got my stamp in my hand, which I might have a stamp out here somewhere. The day I got my stamp in my hand, I made $47 in about 20 minutes. So I left work for making $100 for the whole day. That night, I think it was even Scarsdale, New York. I remember the location. I made $47 in 20 minutes. I was like, okay, this is a win for me. So shout out to Ricky Salmon. He taught me the game, and here we are.
I love it, man. And the mobile or just notary in general is something that is just it's just oversight. People don't even think about that notary position, right?
Bingo.
Until he came to you and told you that, you would have never even thought, like, what? You just go to the bank, get something signed usually, but you don't think about it. That there is always a demand for a notary. There is always a demand for a notary. Everybody in their lifetime is going to have to visit a notary at some point in time. So, I mean, I think it's just a good little void in the market for you to go out there and get it. So, yeah, I mean, definitely. You got that $47. And did you already have that line? How hard was it for you to find that $47 in that 20 minutes?
Well, shout out to Ricky again. He had so much work. He would farm us out work. Nice. Me, after I got my license, I put like two of our mutual friends on, and they got their license as well. So he had too much work. He like a pioneer, and I'm like a pioneer 2.0, yeah. I guess. So he was calling me, yo, you get stamp, yeah. I was like, no, Ricky, but I'll let you know when I do. And I got it, and he had the job lined up.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Just like Mike said, I never even thought about like a Notary Public, but I've signed for my first rental property at a McDonald's. And then I've done that many times. they met me there, right? And I'm like buying a house, I'm signing all the paperwork and stuff like that at a McDonald's, right? I've done a refinance or two at like a random location, I think at Subway or something like that before as well. It's just kind of anywhere so you don't have to meet a specific time, right? So that's kind of the value that a Notary Public brings. So I didn't even think about it as well. I didn't even think about, like, I wonder what this person is making. I mean, they're there for what, maybe an hour. Mine was a little bit longer. I never even really thought about, hey, what is this person really making, but then when I look at the thing, it's like, oh, well, this person just made $200, and
at the HUD statement, the son of a statement tells it all.
Yeah, so let's talk about how you get paid, because here's the thing, like within the sales industry, something that's commission based, you have to perform, right? The deal has to close. So you can be working with somebody for 3 months, 4 months, then you get a check. But in the notary business, let's talk about how you get paid. You go over there for basically per hour or per assignment. When do you see that check? Because most of us won't pay it until closing, but when do you see the money? How does that work?
Great question. So it depends on the kind of service you're performing. Loan closings, which is one of the most popular, but not actually my favorite service. There are other services which I prefer to perform more. But for loan closings, you generally get paid 5 days to 30 days after the closing is complete. And for numbers' sake, you generally get paid between $80 to $300 per closing, which takes about 20 minutes to an hour to complete. But there are other services you could offer to the general public and or companies. One of them is fingerprinting, which is my favorite service. I get paid for that before I even leave the house. I haven't done a job where I haven't gotten paid first in a long time. I like to get paid before I leave the house. So when people call me for the service, I say, thank you for calling. Then I ask them for payment over the phone, or can send you an invoice and they pay it. So for fingerprinting, get paid up front. And fingerprinting pays between $100 to even like $500 or $600 per appointment, because most people need multiple fingerprinting cards done. And a lot of companies hire us to fingerprint maybe 4 or 5 people in the same day. So that's a total win right there. So and the general public, I love that. Guys like y'all need to get wills, power of attorneys, living trust, healthcare proxies, affidavits, notarized all the time. So those we charge, let's say $75 to $200. And again, with those, I'm paid on the phone up front or I send them an invoice before I even confirm the appointment. I tell them that worst case scenario, we get paid on the spot when we do the appointment there. So that's one of the things that I love most about this business.
Yeah. Hey, so really quick, because I think we kind of breezed by it. We just assumed everybody knows exactly what the Notary Public, and this is kind of a simple question, but I just want to make sure we kind of cover all the bases. Really quick. What is the Notary Public, and what really do they do, and why is their title, right, the Notary of Public, why is that important?
Good question. Okay, so a notary public is an impartial witness who's licensed by their state to notarize documents. Real simple lingo. We get a license through the state in which we have a home address or a business in. They say that we have high enough character to witness legal documents on the state's behalf. So we get our license, we go to a client's location, we verify their license, that their license is valid, or passport or whatever, or military ID, shout out to y'all. We watch them sign the documents, we sign, we notarize, it's a done deal. The mobile part comes into it where we travel to the client's location. Hence, we charge a premium fee for people who want to pay for convenience rather than for people who want to be inconvenienced to go drive around to 4 or 5 different banks to go find a notary, which some banks don't even notarize all kinds of documents. That's where we come in as like a high-end courier service per se, kind of thing.
You gotta love it. And convenience is winning out right now, right? Convenience is the economic driver in society today. Fast food, Amazon, right? Convenience. So now we took a time-old tradition of the notary service, made it mobile, boom, charge a premium because people are willing to pay it. And I mean, now when you think about side hustles, instead of doing something like Uber or Lyft, you drive it anyway. Instead of making $30, make it 200. Like
there we go. Yeah,
that's good. That is
there
good.
we go.
Yeah, so
question for you, Mike. I have a question for you, Mike. Where do you get your energy from so early in the morning?
Oh, just a little bump of I'm playing. No, just coffee and not playing. no, I'm playing.
You're funny.
It's just you know, I love this type of stuff, man. When we're talking about changing lives here, right? This isn't just a side hustle. This is somebody that says, hey, you were making $100 a day, where you're now able to let that go, control your schedule, and make $100 an hour. That's game changing, man. That is literally game changing. People's lives can be changed off of that. So I mean, I love it.
Totally. Yeah. I dig it. I think one of those shirts too from y'all. I'm gonna order one of those shirts.
Oh yeah, the Military Cashflow swag. Yep, we got you. Everybody who wants it is showing the show notes.
That's fire right there.
Yo, so we got you know, made made $47. I mean, your first appointment, right? Typically these notaries charge between 40 and are 75 and like $300. You said sometimes up to $600.
Yeah.
So what is the typical person that gets this system set, right? What is a typical person able to bring home? Because it's my understanding that you can pretty much legitimately make this a full-time job if you wanted to, right? So what are we talking here?
Yeah, so we have our 2 through 12K club, right? Where some people want to take it more seriously. On the low end, they average at about $500 a week, which is $2,000 a month. Higher end, we have some young guys, some 23-year-olds are making $12,000 consistently a month there or about, sometimes a little bit more. So first of all, it's all about what you want. Some people, they say, hey, look, I want some side money to take my girl out, to pay off my car, to invest in the stock market. I'm like, cool. We have some people say, yo, I want to make $100,000 a year. Cool. The opportunities are there. It's just what you want. How many hours do you want to put in, and what do you want to get out of it? Then we have some people. So I have what you call a notary signing service now. So I don't do many notary jobs myself anymore, but it's kind of like wholesaling real estate, where I might get the call, or my manager or assistant will get the call. Let's say for $200 for a loan signing in Philadelphia. We will then get paid, lock the client down, then find a notary to do it in Philadelphia, to do it for $100 or $125. We pocket, let's say, $75 or $100. So you could be the middleman, middlewoman, or you can go self-employed. It's totally your call. But people are making legit money. We've even before I started teaching, I was doing it full time. I haven't had a full time job in 11 years, and I've done other stuff. I have maybe even I've done sexier stuff, but this business has been what got me out of the job market. This nonsense, and I want to talk about that. People overlook non-sexy businesses because they're non-sexy. And at first I would get offended because people were like, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm over Notary Public. Yeah, I have this business. And they would laugh at me. I used to get the face they would make. The face it was like they would look down on me when I was a woman. They looked down on me. But I was dating this attorney one time, and she didn't really get what I did. And we went back and forth because she was really much into titles. She was an attorney, corporate attorney, did very well for herself. But when she saw what I did physically, and saw me get paid and my checks come in and all this stuff, she got her license and started doing the business as well. Because for people who are looking for side income with not a lot of overhead and startup costs, $75 to $200 per appointment, a couple of those a week are life changing. You do a couple of those a day, you have a whole different life. So the money's there. The money's there. And even with the pandemic, I thought it might change things. I knew that it was recession proof that people needed it, but it's pandemic proof as well, because our students are making more money during it than before it. So, man, mobile notary is the bag, man. Non-sexy stuff wins.
You know, so many people, like you mentioned, they want to do the sexy stuff. They want to do the house flip. They want to do the, but we have to look at what are your resources, man? Do you have the time for it? Do you have the money for it? Do you have like the team for it? And it's like, hey, if I'd rather do something that I know is going to pay out, and you know, we'll call it what you want, suffer in silence. Maybe you don't necessarily enjoy it, but you do it for a year, for 2 years. It changes the whole trajectory. So I really like that. Now, I'm a notary myself, and I've actually looked into this mobile notary business. So I want to ask you the deal flow. Now, I know that there's a few different ways to get deals sent to you, but what is the typical approach for a mobile notary to say, all right, let me find more assignments, more opportunities to sign these docs?
Will do. So I'll give you 3 cheat codes right now. If you're a licensed notary, you want to advertise on these 3 websites. They have a free option and a paid option. The paid option gets you a higher ranking on the websites. It's notarycafe.com, 123notary.com, and notaryrotary.com. These are some of the go-to websites that people who are looking for us go to hire us. If you're advertising on all 3 of those websites, those should get you some calls generating ASAP. Now, you want to add in a business email address to that's one that ends at a .com or .net per se, because most people have a Gmail or Yahoo, which is fine. I have no data on this, but having a business email address just makes you look like more of a legitimate company than the other guys or gals. So if you knock out those things right there, you'll stand out from the rest. If you want to go overboard, add in like a little animated commercial with some graphics, or some kind of commercial to it, because most people don't have a visual presence. You do those things, you're ahead of probably 70% of the people out there.
All right. And is this something that can be basically implemented in any state? The mobile.
I haven't. Yeah. So I haven't seen people not be able to make money anywhere in the country. I haven't seen it. Now, some cities you'll make more money per appointment. Some cities you'll make more money because of the volume there. Some places are more rural than others. You have to drive further to some appointments than others. But I haven't seen people not be able to make money who follow the systems and who didn't complicate it. Where people go wrong is they're too smart. And again, like, smart people just think everything has to be complicated. Not everything has to be. Some things are just what they are. You keep it simple. So if you keep it simple, follow a bunch of, not easy, because the word easy could be misleading, but like a bunch of simple steps, you can eat off of this business.
That's good. I want to really, I guess, put that in the perspective of our soldiers, right? So just like Mike's talked about, we got soldiers out there that are Ubering and things, and yet, I mean, that's a way to go. You can also double up with this. Yeah. And then also, you have a wife, right? Or you might have a spouse, military spouse, whatever your spouse is doing. If they might not be doing too much, and you might want to get them involved into something. And this could easily be a way to add, it's like Dre said, 2 to 12K onto your income, just off of a side hustle, right? So that's just something extra that you could be doing. And like we said, you can take this, and this is an active income. I'm sure you're going to kind of tell us about how you've kind of made this a little bit more passive. You kind of alluded to it already by having the service, right? But even at when you first get your license, right, you can take this active cash, this active income, right, through these simple steps, and then parlay that into a passive, more passive investment, whether that be real estate or vending machines or ATM machines or whatever your passion is, right? So I think that's really important. That's a really key thing to note.
Yep, I'm with you. Yeah. What does the typical guy or gal do who spent 5-10 years overseas or in a different, or who was full-time and now they're out? They might be looking for something to do. They might not know which route to go. They might be looking for the passion, you say. But okay, but up until you might find your overall hardcore passion, let's get you $500 a week or more coming in while you go out and figure out life. So I think it's perfect for the veteran community.
That's a really good point, because we always talk about the different stages of financial stability, if you will. That first stage of financial freedom is essentially just having enough money coming in to cover your obligations, your debt, your food, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
At that point in time, that now you are free to explore. You explore your passions, explore your next step, right? It doesn't mean whatever you did to get financially free, you have to continue doing. But the point is financial freedom. And something like a mobile notary business or a mobile notary service where you can create $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month. Now you should be able to just breathe a little bit, woosah, and go out and find that next thing. So I love that. And when we're talking about charging, I know we said anywhere from $50, $75, $300 an hour. Do you control that, or is that something like on your websites they basically dictate, hey, this is how much it is. Do you want to accept it? Yes or no? Is that kind of how it works?
So I don't tell. So I tell people not to let them tell you how much they're going to pay. You say your fee up front. If you have to meet somewhere in the middle, you rock out with it. So typically loan closings, if it's a title company, law firm, or abstract escrow company, are going to pay the most. People are going to pay the least are guys like us, signing services, who take our cut, that pay the other people, even though I pay above average per signing service. So if it's one of those guys or gals, you could get that 150, 200, 250 for those closings. If it's an appointment for the general public, if it's, let's say that you need 3 wills notarized in Charlotte, we might charge 100 or 125 for that service right there in Charlotte, right? So it does depend on where you're located and the service you're performing. But here's what people do. See what's going on in your area. See what people have on their website. You don't have to go lower, though. You just have to look better. I've had people who told me that because I answered the phone, because if you call my phone, I have a business voice. People who call me for personal reasons, they think that they're the wrong number sometimes because it's such a business voicemail. That if you do these things, people will actually pay you more. You don't have to be the lowest to compete in this industry. You could be a little bit higher as long as you look better.
So to me, it sounds like just being a professional, right? I mean, are you saying if those little things like that, right? You mentioned a couple websites. You mentioned, hey, literally just have a business email address, and pick phone and things like that. If those little things are what sets you so far apart from everyone else, is there just a lot of people that are I mean, I imagine there's just a lot of people that are doing this, or a lot of mobile notaries that are doing this that kind of, I'm not gonna say aren't taking it seriously, but they're just not. I mean, what is the deal with that? Are they just they've been doing it for so long they feel like they don't have to do it, or what?
Yeah,
what that is.
I think a lot of them are comfortable and they've been doing it, and they have business coming in. They're like, okay, well, why change up anything because I have enough business coming in. So if you're slightly better than them, you're gonna win. Most people just don't try very hard in life. I think, to be honest with you,
so many people hit the easy button. Yeah, they
do it, and they still, they're like, I'm winning. Okay, cool. For you, that's a win. I need a little bit more than that for me to win, so I'm going to try a little more, a little harder.
That brings up a really good point, because a lot of people like easy and a lot of people get comfortable. And if you look at the people that are truly successful in life and whatever your terms of success is, it's just the people who have been the most consistent for the longest, right? They're doing the same amount of calls that they did as a brand new rookie, you know, as a 10-year vet. They're doing the same amount of deals. They're doing the same amount. It's the consistency that compounds. Too many people get comfortable. So, you know, just like Andre's talking about, with anything, but even within the notary service, if you're just that one taking action, boom, you know what I'm saying? You can win out a lot more deals. I love that.
That's it. That's the truth. Success is boring a lot of times and monotonous. If you can embrace that and fight through it, you'll win.
That's the next t-shirt. Success is boring. Success is boring.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Hey, so question. So let's say, like, let's give a scenario, right? And I don't want you to give out all the sauce because we're going to talk about your mobile notary school here in a little bit, but just kind of like the high points to give that visual out to anyone that's listening. All right. I'm active duty and my spouse is sitting at home. What are some of the things that I need to do on the high end level in order to start taking advantage of? This is the route that I want to go, right? This is the side hustle that I want to get, and I want to get my 2 to 12K a month. What does that trajectory look like? What are those steps look like?
Cool. Step one, he or she is going to go get their license through their state that they're living in. So if you're in Memphis or Charlotte, you're going to go to your Department of State website, and you're going to look up how to become a Notary Public. Some states have a test. Some states don't. Actually, most don't. It's just paperwork. So whatever it is, you're going to get it in as soon as possible. Before the pandemic, it was taken on average 2 to 4 weeks. Some states it's a little bit longer now. It might be 6 to 8 weeks. But you're going to get your paperwork in as soon as humanly possible. After that, you're going to figure out, or during the process, you're going to figure out which services you want to offer. Are you going to be the loan closing guy or gal? Are you going to work with the general public? Are you going to do fingerprinting? Figure out which niche you want to niche down on, because you don't have to offer every service to make money. Some people can't handle a lot of stuff. And I actually think that's fine, right? If you can't handle 5 different services coming in, if you can't handle being the middleman and being self-employed, pick which one you're going to rock out with and start with that, and then you can figure out how to expand later.
Really quick question with that one real quick, because I didn't think about that. I assumed like once you get your license, you kind of have all the services up under you. Why would it be harder to handle more services? Is it just like what's the issue?
Yeah, so some people, let's say that you're on your way to a loan closing, right? You're on your way to a general will appointment, which takes about 5, 10, 20 minutes. The borrower or the signer already has the documents. You get a call for a loan closing, let's say an hour from the call. You have to go back home to print out documents. They call it e-docs. So it'd probably be about like a packet like this. You print them out for the borrower to sign. That's at 1 o'clock. You're meeting your clients at 12 o'clock. Some people, it might sound crazy, but that pressure of having to scramble to complete that 12 o'clock job to get to the client for 1 o'clock, they'll get flustered and they'll shut down. They'll be overwhelmed by the extra service that they have to go perform, and they have to go print out.
They're basically talking about the volume, like the actual workload is what you mean by like separating what you want to do.
The workload and the service, right? Because with loan closings, you have to go print out these documents a lot of times, these e-docs, and you have to wait for them to come from the bank. You have to have toner. You have to have a lot of paper. You have to have a laser printer on deck. And some people, they may, oh man, like this job was so easy, but now I have to go do this and I have to go print all these things, and they just get, I still have to literally get frustrated and they shut down. So I tell people, because I'm just a simple guy, know what you can handle, know what works for you. If you just want to stick with one of those services, that's fine. If you want to go attack all of them, that's cool too. But you have to know how much your brain can handle and have an honest assessment within yourself.
Okay. All right. So I didn't mean to cut you off. I know it kind of went sideways right there, but so we decide what you want to do.
Next down on what service you want to offer. Figure out if you want to be self-employed or be the middleman or middlewoman. And then you're going to start marketing. Then you're gonna start marketing your services. You're gonna grab the logo from Fiverr. You're gonna get the website built. If you're gonna go the website route, you're gonna get a business voicemail on your phone, which is really important. Get a business voicemail on your phone, or you record a business voicemail. Then hopefully you're gonna roll in our class too.
There you go. Now, when people are looking at the different types of services, fingerprints, blah, 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 blah. What are some things that they should consider when trying to identify which one is going to be best suited for them?
Okay. Where are you located? So in Georgia and South Carolina, those are what they call attorney-only states. So in those states, notaries who aren't attorneys can't perform loan closings themselves. Now, they can bring in the assignment and have an attorney do it. They can middleman it to an attorney, which is pretty cool, but you can't do it in those states. So in those states, but what we can do in those states are weddings. We can officiate weddings too. So they might go the wedding route. I would look at it like this. When do you want to get paid? Are you cool with getting paid 2 to 30 days after the assignment? If that's the case, and you're in another state, then head the loan closing route. Consistent work, and a lot of companies who hire you will actually rehire you if they have work in that area. They have no problem with keeping a slim, trim roster with people who do a good job. If you want to get paid up front on the spot or before you even leave the house, you might want to go the fingerprinting route and or work with the general public, because those assignments pay up front and early. So after you decide those 2 things or 3 things, then you'll decide which niche you want to niche down on.
And then when they do decide the niche, do they need to go through a special training program? Because loan docs aren't as a broker and as a real estate investor, I've seen plenty of loan docs, plenty of closings, and they're not necessarily the easiest things to read. So does the notary have to go through a training program to be qualified?
So there is this called the National Notary Association, where you can become a certified loan signing agent, right? That means that you passed a test and that you know how to go through loan documents. You know what they look like. You know where to sign. You know where to have the borrower sign. You're certified in that, right? You do not have to get that to perform loan closings for the most part. Some companies will only hire you if you have that certification. Your knowledge is sometimes good enough for some companies to hire you.
And do you have to present that at all when you go to 123 Notary or Rotary.com and all that? Do you kind of create like a little bio or something where you say, hey, I've done such and such? Yeah.
So in the bio, you could brag on yourself a little bit. Yeah, I have 5 years of experience. I was active duty in the military. Some people put that in there. That helps. Yeah. But you guys are usually on time and on point and punctual and all that good stuff. So that helps. I have completed 500 loan signings. I am a certified loan signing agent through the National Notary Association. All that stuff helps. It's bragging points. Some people don't care. Some people do care, but it cannot hurt you to have a certification to perform those services. It can't hurt you at all.
Good to know. Good to know.
So let's talk about a little bit about the Mobile Notary School, and that's something that you started, right? And it's been doing very, very well. We see great things from it. So what can anyone that signs up for the Mobile Notary School? I'm sorry.
Oh, good. So you sign up for our school, where you're gonna get actionable, simple steps to follow for you to make real money as soon as humanly possible. That's the best. That's the most consistent feedback that we've gotten from our alumni since 2015. Before, it was just me teaching it when I first started, but then my students became really good, so they started hopping in and teaching as well. But that's it. Actionable, simple steps for you to follow in sequence for you to start making money. So you're talking about the loan closing documents. Now, we can't certify you to be a loan signing agent per se, but we can go through hundreds of loan documents to show you where to sign and where to stamp. That can make you feel more confident, because sometimes, I actually had a lady who got a call for a loan signing, but she didn't get to that part of the course yet, and she turned the job down because she was scared of scan backs, because she didn't have a scanner at her house. I'm like, well, you have one on your phone. So we just help you slim down the learning curve by walking you through everything you need to do. So like if you get a call for a loan closing, let's say today's Sunday, and the closing is Tuesday, you'll say, okay, cool. You're going to take that job. Now you're going to go through the archive sessions, watch the sessions on how to notarize loan documents. Here you go, feeling more comfortable. You have sample documents. Now you're in the game. You're going to learn how to do fingerprinting, how to literally take fingerprints. You're going to learn about the apostille service, which we didn't even get into. That's like a high-end courier service for legalizing and notarizing documents to go out the country. You're going to learn our marketing techniques, which I went over a few, but there's like 20 or 30 more, which I didn't even go over. And remember, like I'm 15 years in the game, and we have our other alumni students who are now 5, 4, 3, 2 years in the game. So you're getting all of our information in a simple, easy to digest format for you to be successful. And if you're in the 2 through 12K club, we also, with all of our archive sessions and with all of our live online sessions, we have bi-weekly coaching, which for some people, that's what they need. They need that accountability. They need someone yelling at them every 2 weeks. They need to know that they're going to see me or one of us, and I'm going to ask you what you've done or haven't done last time. That accountability can really, I've seen it really help change people's trajectory, because they can't just hide behind their computer. They have to be accountable for what they did or didn't do. And if you're doing well, it helps to have a support system, because some people are alone. Right. Some veterans, they didn't start family before they left. So they're coming home and it's just them right now. So, but now you have a community of people who you're meeting with every couple of weeks, and we got your back. So we give you all the good stuff.
I think that's extremely important to have that checklist. Analysis paralysis is the thing, not just in real estate, but just in business in general and life in general. And a lot of times it's because you don't feel confident with your approach. I mean, there's countless times where I've seen real estate investors or even veterans trying out for like selection or another job opportunity that said, oh, I don't know, so I'm not going to pursue it. Well, boom, bingo. That issue's all taken care of, because now you know it's a checklist. Like you can't mess it up. You know what I mean? And then obviously you educate and then you apply. Education without application, we just talked about in the last episode, education without application is pointless. So you get that information and take action. Accountability, I mean, it's a one-stop shop. That's good. That's good.
It's a winning formula. It's a winning formula. A great way to put it.
I love it.
Hey, so I think you dropped some gems, man. You dropped a lot of gems. A lot of this information can easily be applied to anyone out there looking for a simple, not easy, simple side hustle that you can generate some life-changing income from, right? So I just think that's awesome. Is there, if you had to say there was like one thing that anyone out there listening can do to help them along their journey in becoming like a mobile notary public, what would that one thing be? What's one piece of advice you'd give out?
One thing they could do, have a really good, clean, organized website. People who call you or who search for you and hire you, they don't know who you are most likely. They're probably not going to be people you know. They're going to hire you based upon your web presence. So if you have a clean, organized, nice logo, easy to digest website, you're standing out. So as simple as that is, most people don't have it. You do that, you're ahead of a lot of people.
Yeah, man, that's definitely true. If you want to see what a clean website looks like, definitely go check out Andre's website, man. Andre
appreciate it.
Super clean. Not gonna lie, I really like your the way you present, online. So
appreciate it, brother. Thank you.
Presence. But yeah, man, is there any other final words about the mobile notary public? Man, my tongue's just all types of messed up today, dude. Like
it's early, but don't worry about it.
Any last words about the mobile notary public?
Yeah, I would say if you're looking for something to do, you don't know what to do, even if it doesn't sound overly exciting to you, like I don't know if I'll be doing this for 6 years or will be your career for the next 5, 10, 20 years, you're probably going to need some money. You want to learn a needed skill before you need the money. Even if you let's say you enroll, you get your license, and you don't even act on it right away, which I know people who didn't. They acted a year later, 2 years later. You want to get a needed skill under your belt, especially with the crazy times. Who knows what's going on in the world nowadays? You want to get something under your belt that you can implement to make money. Get it under your belt before you even need the bread. Even if things are going cool now, get it. It can't hurt you to have it.
I love that, because it's like you said, it's the skills that pay, right? It's not the education, it's the skill. It's the people that got, whatever, plumbing skills, electric skills, notary skills, real estate investment skills. That's what's going to pay you, not your degree, not your whatever else. So I love that. Now, when people are sitting there thinking, okay, I want to learn about mobile notary, I want to learn about real estate, I want to learn about vending machines, ATMs, selling candy in high school, just being a better person, right? How can they get in contact with you to find out more about what you got going on?
Good stuff. So they can go to my website, which is Dan said is clean. Thank you, Dan. AndreCHatchett.com. Instagram, it's Andre Hatchett. I believe Andre Hatchett on Instagram. And I have a new book. I have a new ebook coming out, which I'll break down things I've done over the past few years. It's on my website. It should be in my Instagram bio too. Own or Be Owned. Volume 2, The Black Man's Guide to Wealth Creation in America. So that's Volume 2 ebook coming out February 15th. So excited about that. Hopefully you guys can pick that up.
Absolutely. And we'll be sure to have all of that in the show notes as well. But yeah, this was jam-packed, man. I really appreciate you coming on the show and dropping all these knowledge bombs.
It was an honor to be here, man. You guys are dope.
Yeah, man. Hey, so again, thanks. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Just like Mike said, we'll be in contact. We'll be reaching out for sure. We're always in contact. So yeah, with that, this is Dan Wynn.
Mike Glaspie.
Signing off.